Hi, this is Harris from Renae. And sorry, I'll do it again. This is.
It's really difficult, isn't it? When you're not used to it as well.
I think I need to be on the spot. Who, just needed more accessible space to work from.
So really multifaceted.
It is,
venue.
yeah. This is, a lot of people don't actually know we have two more floors, so they people think, oh, this is it, and we've just got a lot. We've got a lot to give. Yeah. There's loads to come. Still.
I always say you don't grow when you're comfortable. So
Absolutely, I totally agree. No, we've had definitely a few new grey hairs over the last 6 months. It's definitely been a ride, but it just you wouldn't change it. Yeah, it wouldn't change it at all.
I think it does kind of match what you were saying earlier though as well, because you were saying that you used to come from Nottingham into Manchester to go to Sankey's, and you wanted to create that space that you were dancing in 15 years ago. So it is kind of like recreating, rebirthing that whole experience again. So I feel like it kind of coincides with everything.
I hope so. Yeah, so. I hope that was
you.
okay.
That was really, really good.
Hi, this is Harris. I'm the co-founder of Renae, and you're listening to After the Applause.
This is After the Applause. Hi guys, welcome back to After the Applause. This is episode 34. My name is Saoirse Marie, and this is a podcast highlighting and platforming everything within the grassroots in the live music scene, specifically in the north of England. That could be artists, events, venues, people that work within the live music industry within the north of England. This week, we'll be taking a look at the interview I did with co-founder and co-owner of Renae, the latest bar in the Northern Quarter, Harris. Harris set up Renae 4 or 5 months ago with Brad, and it has had huge success since then. The attention and the interaction it's had with the people of Manchester has been phenomenal from the get-go. In this interview, we discuss all things Renae and how this isn't just a sudden one-hit wonder or a sudden success. This has been something that's been being planned behind the scenes for the longest time. We got to sit down with Harris and talk about what he sees from his perspective of the music scene and the community within Manchester, and the purpose behind Renae and what they are trying to build with this. Let's just get straight into it. This is After the Applause interview with Harris from Renae. We're going to talk a lot about Renae, why you set it up, the Manchester music scene. But my first question for you is, what was the first gig you ever went to?
Oh wow, that's it. Like DJs or bands or anything.
Yeah, any.
That's a long time ago. So I just imagine myself being in my hometown in Greece, probably about mid '90s. Don't know. I think when it comes to sort of underground DJ sets, it was probably there was a bar called Sugar they used to go to, about 50 capacity venue in my hometown, and I saw a guy play some techno records, and that was really amazing, kind of really quite inspiring.
Was that kind of an instigator for you to get into DJing yourself and music like that?
It did, yeah. Actually, that happened a bit earlier than that. When my cousin used to study in the UK around that sort of time, and he used to come back with a lot of essential mixtapes, actual cassette tapes, with a lot of P-Tong, and I was about 11, 12 at the time. Yeah, they would just play me all these tapes, and I was like, oh, this is nice, groovy stuff, house, disco house. So that was kind of really just made my head kind of sort of turn a little bit. My dad used to run some clubs around the same time in my hometown, but the music wasn't really that progressive. But I think it's been in that environment around people just dancing, but listening to the music at the time through my cousin, it was just a lot of that energy, that feeling. And then when I was about 15, 16, they started to take me out to clubs with them, because that's what happened to Greece. And they all kind of sort of got a lot of inspiration out of it.
It all went from there.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, it's been a long kind of sort of like journey, really. After that, you go to meet some other friends, into some other stuff. You go to a bigger club, and then a bigger club, and then you go to, I mean, I moved to Athens, and there was more things happening over there. And then from there, I moved to the UK. And yeah, there's a lot of experiences, really.
Nice little whirlwind journey there for you.
It is, yeah. It's been, yeah. I think this is actually interesting because people sometimes we're in the bar and we're open and people come and say, like, oh, how did this place come about then? It just turned up. It hasn't just appeared. There's like years and years and years of experience. And me and my business partner, they've both been in the industry for a long time in the scene. And he owns a bar down the road. I've been running bars around here for a long time and be part of the scene. So it hasn't just appeared. There's like years and years of experience and being part of it that kind of sort of brought together.
That kind of leads on to the next question I have for you, which was, what were your impressions of the Manchester music scene before you set up Renae?
I've been in Manchester for 17 years and I was also coming here before that. I used to live in Nottingham and I used to basically get the train up to go to Sankey Soap. I say Sankey Soap because that was before, before the refurb, and there was such an amazing space. And I was always buzzing. I mean, it's got a lot of history about music. It's a music city. It has had a bit of a roller coaster over the years, but I feel like there's always things happening in Manchester. It never hasn't really stopped. That's always been really inspiring, really. There's always some kind of sort of club that you kind of go to that is quite inspiring. Me and Brad have been basically met. Joshua Brooks, I think, used to put a night there called Fingerprint. So we met there. I played for him one night and just became friends at the back of that. And then it was literally just, met all these people around that sort of era. And then all these experiences and all these kind of connections we've made all these years. We just, now we kind of wanted to set up a place that people that, us 17 years ago essentially could come and just, come and dance here and make their own friendships and connections, really.
Mm-hmm. And kind of meet like-minded people.
Totally, yeah. I think like Renae is all about, giving people that sort of space where, yes, you can have a nice drink and all that, but this is nice music. But the most important thing is like that sort of connection. Is offering a space where it's accessible and you can just come in and just have a dance and just meet people that are into the same music. Just, feel quite sort of safe doing that.
That kind of answers the next question I had for you, which was, did you feel that there was something missing in the Manchester music scene that instigated setting up Renae?
To an extent, yeah. I mean, I guess where we kind of sort of like come in is we are in between a bar and a club, essentially. That's the best way to sort of describe it. There's a lot of bars in Manchester that put on good music, but maybe they just don't particularly have put a lot of thought into sound systems and how the space kind of sort of feels in the acoustics. And then you've got clubs that maybe have thought about those things, but they're just not as accessible from where they are, I suppose. And you have to get a taxi there, you have to buy a ticket, and sometimes it's sold out and blah blah blah. So I feel like what we offer is, we are very central, we're located very centrally, and we kind of offer all these extra things where we've got a really nice sound system here. I feel like our music programming is pretty decent. So it's a lot more accessible. You can pop down. If you want to go for a dance, you can come down here for a few hours and don't commit to, 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. kind of sort of journey. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's kind of what we offer, really, Renae. That's why it sort of stands out a little bit.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that I always point out to people whenever I talk about Renae is how the music that you have in here and the DJs that you have in is diverse. And I think that's something that is kind of missing a little bit in Manchester, is that everywhere has their own specific niche or style of music, but here it has that diversity of different sounds, and you don't, unless you check out what you've got going on that week, you don't really know what to expect in the nicest way.
Yeah, we definitely try to do that. At the end of the day, we are just a bar, essentially. No, not just a bar, but it is a bar. So the music kind of policy has to kind of sort of take that into consideration, because it just can't be full-on club music. Because I think some people will come here for a drink and they'll just get alienated a little bit. So it's quite important to have the diversity, and also just to surprise some people sometimes. I think last Friday we had a really great DJ, and she just played very different to the Saturday before. So I think if I was a customer that came here both nights, I really like that. There's another place that plays the same sound. There's a lot of bars around here in the area. The DJs play exactly the same sets Friday, Saturday. It could be a different DJ, but they play a brief, and we want to kind of sort of not have that at all. So we do have a brief for our DJs that it's so vague and it's so kind of like it's very it's very small, very vague. So we want people to come down and be creative and play the records really, and just, create their own vibe.
Yeah, I was just about to say having that kind of vagueness and not having a brief to stick to allows the DJs to play around and have more creativity with their sets as well. It gives them that freedom to kind of explore new music and show that to other people in the area.
It totally is, yeah. And I've always said this. I might have some preconceptions of somebody that might not enjoy the music, but you know what? Let's get them to play, and then it might be surprises. So that's give the platform, and we're very lucky. Our customers are just quite open-minded, and I love that. Again, people come to play here and they have heard about the place, and they know there's a buzz around it at the moment. But again, the person who played here on Friday night, she was quite amazed by just the vibe. It was just people dancing to anything she was actually playing. So she messaged me the day after, just saying that she was quite really impressed with the openness of the crowd, and that's really, really great.
The name Renae, what's the story behind the name? I've done my research and I know that Renae means born again or reborn. Is it something related to that?
Partly. So we wanted to some kind of sort of the name to have a relation to music to an extent, and me and Brad had this very long document with just loads of different names, possible names, stuff that we kind of sort of care about, and some of it was just absolute rubbish, really. So one of the main things was it needs to be something very easy to say and to remember. So like Renae kind of came from a jazz pianist from France, Renae Utrega. His name is spelled like RENEE, an accent. Yeah. So we kind of like play around with that a little bit and just kind of change the spelling and made it a bit more kind of sort of like Scandi to an extent. So that was kind of related to music. But then, also looking into what the actual meaning of the word, it just means kind of be reborn. And we kind of had this sort of vision about, well, not a vision, but we worked around this area for a very long time. And Northern Quarter, like 15, 16, 20 years ago, was a place where it was just kind of growing. There was all these new bars that popping up. It was very independent and really quite inspiring. And maybe kind of has lost its way a little bit over the past, maybe like 5-10 years. I feel like a lot of people have kind of sort of not been putting too much effort into, what they stand for and, offer a space that is just more than just, drinking. So we wanted to kind of like shake it up a little bit and just, deliver a different project with like real true meaning behind it. And people say quite ballsy. When we first opened, our friend said that. So yeah, maybe there is a thing to say there. That like there's some new life in this area, and yeah, we're quite proud of it so far actually.
So as you said, when you first opened up, there was a buzz instantly really from opening up, and lots of people have said to you like you just popped out of nowhere, like blah blah blah. But since gaining all of that interest and recognition from the get-go and being open for a few months, do you feel like there is a pressure on you to kind of keep that buzz going now, or do you not feel that?
There's definitely pressure to keep delivering for our customers, but not really pressure to keep a buzz going. It's not really about that. Like I said, we've been kind of sort of, I'm really, really grateful for the place being, just really successful from the get-go. But, we've been open for like 15 weeks. It's just so really early days. So we're just getting started, really. We've got so much work to do to deliver on the things we want to deliver on. There's pressure for the right reason. It's not about keeping the buzz going. But it's nice to have the pressure on because, that kind of keeps you motivated.
Yeah, and kind of keep consistent with everything and just...
Yeah. I mean, as I said, we are a brand new business and we're learning every day.
So talking about kind of learning, have you discovered or learned anything new about the scene within Manchester since opening up, Renae?
But I think just the main thing that I was taken back by actually a fair bit is how much people needed a space like this. I mean, I knew you would just kind of do okay because we put a lot of effort and a lot of love into the space. But yeah, I didn't really expect people to come to me on a Saturday night, strangers, and just come and say thank you very much for opening this place. That was I was not expecting that. Don't know if that's changing. Maybe that'll kind of change how things are going in Manchester. Maybe more people actually offer this kind of sort of spaces. I'm not really sure, but that's been really quite amazing to feel. Yeah.
Kind of like the realization that there was a space needed like this, but no one kind of was really doing anything about it, and then you set this up.
Yeah, well, we've done a lot of research over the past 2 years, going to several bars in London and lots of places in Europe, and so went to Japan a few years ago, and it's about kind of seeing what everybody's doing and how they're delivering the vision, and it's about it's just kind of looking at what the city kind of sort of needs, what's not there, and then you just basically kind of just do that, I suppose. But I think that the timing was right for it. The community feel that we've got going on here is actually what really makes people want to be here. I think all the rest of the stuff is like nice kind of sort of extras, but that is one of the most important things that people really just get it. They really understand what we're trying to do.
Speaking of community, I mean, I've been to Renae quite a few times now, and everyone, whenever you're here, everyone is just so friendly. There's always just a positive energy within this space, and you do get that sense of community. Do you believe that community is kind of integral and important for spaces like this, kind of grassroots venues, and why?
I think it's very, very important. Yeah, I think is paramount really. Why is that important? Because I think for space like this to work, you need to have that sense of belonging, and that's essentially what we're experiencing. But a lot of regular customers here, a lot of them just come by themselves, and that's quite amazing. For somebody to come alone and they kind of know there'll be somebody here that can sort of chat to, or chat to the DJ or chat to the staff. And we've recruited this team because we knew that they're going to be people who are going to chat to everybody and be very inclusive. But yeah, I think this is why it's really important. I think people need that sense of belonging somewhere and have shared values, and that is just really, 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 really important. And I think that we align with our customers on that part, which is really amazing.
I guess it's just the like-mindedness as well with the customers and with you, purpose and everything.
It is, yeah. You'll see this. We are attracting a really nice crowd, which is it's amazing. I feel I'm really kind of lucky. There's a lot of this area is really busy with people from all sorts of kind of sort of backgrounds. If you don't understand what we're doing, those people will just walk in and walk straight out and be like, this is rubbish. And it's like, it's fine, it doesn't talk to you, that's okay. There's loads of bars around here for you to go to. So I think it's, we're setting the vibe, and the way, our door staff talk to you, the staff inside, the way the place feels, you kind of know if you want to be here or not, where you're connecting with what we've created. And I think this is something that, we talk about a lot with our management team here and with the door team. Having the right people inside here is just really, really important. We always say that on a Saturday night, for example, we'd rather be 2/3 full with the right people rather than be packed out with the wrong people. The vibe is just very important to kind of keep it going.
As a venue owner and the experience that you've gained from working within this industry and within the scene for 15 years, if there's anyone listening out there that wants to set up their own venue, kind of create a multifaceted venue space, what's something that you wish you'd been told at the start that you've kind of learned on the way?
I mean, just first of all, just do your research. That's the most important thing, is do your research. There's It's been quite a few people I've known for a long time over the past few months that said to me, "Oh, you should have done this 10 years ago." But it just would have failed.
Yeah.
And this couldn't have happened 10 years ago because 10 years ago I wasn't like, or with me and Brad, we weren't ready to do this. So this happened when it happened because of where it was the end of our journey we were. So it made sense to be like, right, we've got this space, let's just deliver it now. And then it just kind of happened. So do your research and just, just be very sure, like, why are you actually doing it? And that's what a lot of people potentially might be getting wrong, because there's why you're actually doing what you're doing is the most important part. And it can be because you want to, pay your rent or, buy a house. That's always a result of having a business. You need to have a real actual reason why you're doing something. What kind of problems are you solving in the area? Those are the two things I'd say are very important. And maybe be ballsy also, just, you can push the boat a little bit. It's always good.
So one of the lessons that you mentioned there was your why, like kind of be certain of your why. So I know you've only been open for 15 weeks, but your why, your purpose, has that changed at all since you started and since you opened up Renae?
No, it hasn't. The why's been it's something it's been in my mind for the past maybe 2 years. So I knew I wanted to open a space like this, but then why was the actual purpose of it? So what we kind of come down is we want to build an inclusive community, people who love music and hospitality. And I would say those both things. So we are music lovers, and that's great. But the hospitality side of things is also really important. We are a bar, and we want our customers to get a really nice experience, so nice drinks, good customer service also. So that was a real drive behind it. It's community first, and then we kind of deliver that with great music, great hospitality. At the back of that, we can do so much. Yeah, how we actually deliver that, there's many ways to do it. So that would keep growing, but the actual reason why we're here will always be the same. Yeah.
What are the future plans and prospects for Renae that you're allowed to talk about?
Yeah, we don't have any big secrets, I don't think. I mean, for now, so we've only been open for 15 weeks. So main priorities is to make the space work as best as it can operationally. It's quite a small space if you really sort of think about it. Yeah. And we are in a capacity Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. So first of all, it's just working out this floor to be running like a dream. We are doing more toilets, and everybody wants more toilets. So we are doing more toilets upstairs at the moment. Should be ready in 2-3 weeks' time. We will have a space, or 2 spaces really, where we can do workshops, we could do wellbeing sessions, we could do exhibitions, and then we'll have another bar, hopefully, in the next maybe 3 to 4 months. And then hopefully maybe by next year there'll be a co-working space also. And the plan with that is to kind of focus around creative people in the area who, just needed more accessible space to work from.
So really multifaceted.
It is, yeah. This is a lot of people don't actually know we have 2 more floors, so they people think, oh, this is it, and we've just got a lot. We've got a lot to give. Yeah. There's loads to come still.
With creating this space, if people were to start opening spaces similar to this, I mean, I guess just from knowing your personality, I know the answer already, but just for people listening, if there were people to create similar spaces to this, multifaceted and everything, would you be quite supportive of that, or would you see that as competition? Is that kind of part of the purpose of setting up Renae, is that there are more spaces that open like this?
I think that I'm definitely supportive of all of it. I was working a bar down the road about 13 years ago, and there was only maybe 5 or 6 bars in another quarter at the time, and then more started to open, and everybody was like, oh wow, it's really bad for business, and it just got busier and busier and busier, really, the area. So I don't think people should be scared about competition at all. All it does is creates more awareness and brings more people to the area. As long as you know that what you're doing is good, and you're offering your offering is great, you shouldn't really be worried about anything. So 100% be more supportive about anybody doing that, and also happy to give advice So with somebody on Saturday who wants to create an event space, and he's becoming here quite a lot. And I just gave him my email address, and I said, if you need any advice about anything, I can help you with it. So 100% need more spaces like that. So yeah, definitely behind it.
If people have been living under a rock and don't know much about Renae, this first time they discovered it, how can they keep up to date with everything that's going on with Renae?
Instagram, really. We're not huge on comms like just yet. Yes, Instagram. That's where we kind of post our lineups every Monday. What's going on? There's some events that like kind of sort of bigger ticketed that we kind of tend to post a little bit earlier. But yeah, Instagram is the main sort of thing. We've got a website that is still under construction. I think it still says coming soon, and we're already here. There's a lot of that that still needs to get. We need to get better at that kind of sort of side of things.
Those are like fine tuning things, though. So
it is, yeah. And I don't know. I kind of enjoy how that we're just not this kind of huge like company with like a big marketing team behind us. It's literally we don't have a marketing team basically.
Just us.
It's just us, and I quite like that really. So I think what we put out there, it feels quite honest. So yeah, I think for now it'll be mainly Instagram. Hopefully we'll just start doing some newsletters at some point, but maybe later.
Like little zines or something. That'd be quite cool, actually.
That would be quite a nice thing to do. We've got a lot of people that want to work with us in different capacities, so I think collaborations probably going to be things you're going to start seeing soon. I'm really excited about that.
As you can tell from the interview, this bar is not trying to be a one-hit wonder and get people's attention and grab people's attention for the aesthetic and how good it will look on social media. I mean, they've only got Instagram at the moment. They barely even have a website, as you heard at the end. Harris and Brad have been planning this meticulously for the longest time. It isn't an idea that's sprung out of nowhere. Harris has been thinking about this for years. Him and Brad have been researching. They've been traveling to various bars around the city and in various other countries internationally to gather information and figure out what works and what doesn't and what would work within Manchester. So although it's had such huge success from starting up, it's because they have been planning this so diligently before putting the idea out there to the people. I like how Harris is trying to create diversity within this space. He's not bringing the same people to play the same music. He wants to provide a range of sounds and allow people that come, customers, to explore and experiment with new sounds and stay open-minded. And I feel like that is very rare to find within venue spaces around the UK, really, because everyone is so used to just going to the same place because they know what certain music's going to get played. But I think that's maybe why not a lot of people go out anymore, because they are bored of hearing the same things played at the same venues, same people, same music, same vibe. It does get pretty tedious and boring, and I think that this is such a fresh take, and it's obviously attracting the right sort of people that are into this. I also like this concept because it does allow the DJs and the artists that come into this space to experiment and be creative with their sets. I watched a video recently about how DJs have been kind of filtered down to just doing 1 hour sets and not having enough time to create a story and create a journey for people that come to listen and people that come to dance, whereas having a space like this allows that creative freedom for the DJs to take the listeners, take the customers on a journey with the music and not just kind of play bits that they know they'll like. You can hear through the passion that Harris has for the space and the purpose that they really are trying to bring back that connectivity and the community feel around the nighttime scene, around the kind of music scene within Manchester. I do feel like this has kind of been lost within the scene. I don't know whether it was pre-COVID or not, or whether it's just this generation and the disassociation we have with social media, but it's really nice to see that people are trying to be connected, and the fact that people can go to Renae without any friends, just by themselves, and have that comfort and reassurance that they will meet somebody to talk to, whether it's Harris or the bar staff or someone else that's there just to enjoy and listen to the music. It's a space where anyone and everyone is welcome, and I think because this is part of the purpose and they're not really bothered about the aesthetic of it, it's not a space for the influencers and the content creators of the world to use it for their aesthetic and their brand to kind of show that they've been in this space. It's not one of those venues. It's a venue that's authentic, and I feel like with all of the interviews I've done and all the people I've spoken to, there is just this constant running theme of authenticity, this open-mindedness and this willingness to explore and experiment with new styles is just all part and parcel of it. I believe this is what's going to help Renae have that continued success, is the authenticity of the place and the just humanness of the space. Yeah, connecting humans to being present in the moment. Yeah, just living in real time. Thank you so much to Harris for sitting down with me, and we did film the interview in Renae, that beautiful space. As you can see, I finally figured out how to work the camera by that interview, and you can see that the space is just beautiful and it does feel really warm and welcoming, and it's just a really nice environment. You should definitely go down and check it out. I will leave the socials in the description for you. You go and check out their social media and keep up to date with what they have going on weekly. Posted every Monday, so it'll be posted today. Thank you so much, Harris, again, for sitting down with me, taking the time to kind of share the story behind Renae and share the purpose and message that you're trying to spread with Renae. I think it's really interesting to hear from a venue owner's perspective what you're trying to do, and it's new and fresh and it's authentic and real, which I hope other venue owners or people that are interested in setting up their own space kind of take on board and remember not to forget the purpose of why you want to set something up. That can be a space, or it can be your kind of creative projects generally. Never forget your purpose and your why of why you're trying to do this. Thank you so much, loyal listeners, for tuning in as always. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button at the bottom. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, please click follow, subscribe, save, and share this with friends if you found this interesting. Share this with anyone and leave a comment, give me some feedback, let me know what you think of this episode, and if you want more of these sorts of interviews with people that work within the scene. And yeah, hope you all have a great week, and I'll see you next time on After the Applause. Bye.